Imagine this, you've just committed murder. The blood of your victim is on your hands, but instead of running or hiding, you walk into the police station and confess. What drives a person to this breaking point? Today we'll dive deep into one of the most famous characters in literature, Rodion Raskolnikov from Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. On the surface, Raskolnikov's journey is a story about crime and a confession, but the real intrigue lies in the psychological battle within his mind, his struggle with guilt, morality, and the search for redemption. Let's explore the mind of Raskolnikov, the murder that broke him, and the woman who led him to redemption. In the opening of Crime and Punishment, we meet a young, impoverished student, Rodion Raskolnikov. He's intelligent but deeply conflicted, haunted by the idea that some people are destined for greatness, while others are insignificant lives. He idolizes figures like Napoleon, men who reshaped the world through sheer will and ambition. In Raskolnikov's mind, these extraordinary individuals exist above the law, free to commit acts against others considered immoral. But why? Raskolnikov comes to believe that if he can perform a single great act, something that sets him apart from the masses, he can prove that he, too, is extraordinary. This thought festers in his mind until he convinces himself that a murder of a despicable pawnbroker could be justified. On a fateful day, Raskolnikov kills the pawnbroker with an axe, convinced he's doing the world a favor by ridding it of someone who exploits the poor. However, in a moment of panic, he also murders her innocent half-sister, Lizaveta, who witnesses the crime. After the murder, Raskolnikov believes he can escape both legal and moral consequences. For a while, he does. He hides the evidence, avoids suspension, and even passes the police's early interrogations. But something far more dangerous is at work, his own mind. Despite his intellectual justifications, Raskolnikov's guilt consumes him. His health deteriorates. He grows feverish and paranoid, becoming physically ill under the weight of his crime. Dostoevsky describes his days after the murder as a descent into madness, a constant battle between his Russian self and his guilty conscience. Raskolnikov believed that by committing his murder, he could prove he was above the moral rules that govern ordinary people. But guilt doesn't discriminate. Whether you think you're extraordinary or not, it eats away at you. No amount of rationalization can stop that. It is in the internal struggle that Dostoevsky's real brilliance shines through. Enter Sonia Marmeladov, a character who couldn't be more different from Raskolnikov. Sonia, the daughter of a poor drunkard, is forced into prostitution to support her family. Despite her tragic circumstances, she embodies innocence, purity, and selflessness. She is a beacon of light in the dark in a world of crime and punishment. Sonia represents unconditional love and faith, while Raskolnikov wrestles with the belief that some people are designed for greatness. Sonia lives humbly, quietly, and with deep compassion for others. It is this compassion that eventually draws Raskolnikov to her. In Sonia, Raskolnikov sees something he cannot understand, an ability to endure suffering without losing hope. His guilt, which he's tired of, he's tried to surpass, is drawn out by her presence. Eventually, Raskolnikov confesses his crime to Sonia, unable to keep it hidden any longer. Sonia doesn't judge him. Instead, she encourages him to seek redemption by confessing to the authorities. It's a powerful moment. The first time Raskolnikov faces the possibility of atonement. What drives a man like Raskolnikov to murder? It's not greed, jealousy, or hatred. It's something far more complex. Raskolnikov's crime stems from philosophy, the belief that some people are extraordinary, destined to shape history, and are therefore exempted from common moral laws. He sees himself as a potential Napoleon, someone who can transcend the constraints of ordinary life. In his mind, killing the pawnbroker is not just an act of violence, it's a test, a way of proving he's one of the greats. But as we think, the reality of murder is far different from his intellectualized fantasy. Dostoevsky uses Raskolnikov's failure to highlight a larger point. No one, no matter how intelligent or ambitious, can escape the weight of moral responsibility. The murder shatters Raskolnikov's illusion for greatness. Far from being a Napoleon, he is just the ordinary man, crushed by the enormity of his guilt. So, why does Raskolnikov confess? It's not just about clearing his conscience or avoiding further punishment. It's about coming to terms with who he truly is, an ordinary man with ordinary moral feelings. Sonia's role in this redemption is crucial. She represents the path to spiritual salvation. Through her, Raskolnikov begins to understand that true greatness lies not in the intellectual superiority or ambition, but in love, humility, and repentance. Human, the human emotion of empathy and sympathy. Her unwavering belief in the godness of humanity allows Raskolnikov to face his crime head on. In the end, Crime and Punishment is not just a story about a murder or a confession. It's a story about the complexities of human condition. Dostoevsky weaves together themes of guilt, morality, love, and redemption, all centered around Raskolnikov's internal battle. Raskolnikov wanted to be extraordinary, but what he discovered was far more profound. The redemption doesn't come from rising above others, but from embracing our shared humanity, our flaws, and our capacity to love. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the mind of Raskolnikov. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Crime and Punishment, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other literary characters you'd like to explore next. See you next time.